Kalyani. Tom. Ty.
Okay, I think this.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Tom Merrill, grateful member of this community. Any last persons, please take your seats and greet your neighbors. Good morning. There's a saying that when one door closes, another opens. So please, at this time, close what I call your cellular door. The phones that can, you're closing your phone so that you can be fully open and open yourself to the Spirit and the music that is, and spoken word that's here this morning. So welcome to the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, where we honor you wherever you are on your spiritual path and know that there is something wonderful here this morning for you. And next, join us in this morning's chant. Words will not be on the wall behind me, but I'm sure we'll be able to follow along, and that will then be followed by spiritual mind treatment by our one and only Reverend Karyl.
And so the PowerPoint is in the mind of God. But also, we know the music today. So because the theme is water, of course we begin with the river. And I have helping me Ross Gualco on keyboard, Kalyani, and Gail Durkin leading. The river, she is flowing, flowing and growing. The river, she is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, your child I will always so with that beautiful feeling of floating, I know that right where I am, God is. I float in the one life forever and ever expressing, one life that is perfect, whole, and complete, one life that is capable and creative, infinitely loving, and infinitely wise. All of that around, including in and throughout all things, all places, all people, all relationships, all eras, all dimensions, nothing but holiness, all the way down. I know that I am a part of this. I know that all of it is available to me. I know that all wisdom, all love, all creative capacity is available to me to give forth again. And I know the same for each person here. And in that beautiful, natural process of flowing in and flowing out, we recognize our breath. We recognize our heartbeat. And I recognize my ability to take in the wisdom of the infinite and give it out again. I recognize my ability to take in the ideas of the infinite, say yes to them, and give them forth into the creative law to be made manifest. This beautiful pattern of moving in and moving out. Holy activity, everywhere present, in all circumstances, conditions, processes, and actions. And so this morning I surrender into that flow of the infinite, knowing that the ideas that I need come to me, that the abundance that I need comes to me, that the health and vitality of the infinite move through me, that love is available to me with every glance and every breath and every touch of the hand. I know that every solution is right there as soon as I turn to the idea of solution. And so this morning, with these blessings abounding for me and anyone that says that inner me too, I give my thanks. And so I rest in the knowing that God is making this prayer so. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Good morning again. And I want to say a special good morning to everybody on the web. I talked to our sister community leader this morning, Reverend Barbara Leger from Ukraine. And so we have brothers and sisters in Ukraine who are watching live. So with this group here, just turn around and wave. Yay, good morning! Yay! So next up is a beautiful gift for us today. Kalyani is here from Nevada City. She is back here. And Kalyani is a wonderful singer-songwriter who has served in many metaphysical communities. She has 6 CDs. She is the living presence of the perfect teaching of God. And so would you please welcome this morning Kalyani.
Thank you so much, Reverend Karyl. Thank you. It's so nice to be back in my Marin family again. This is a song called I Allow, and it was inspired by The Way of Mastery. Ross and I kind of threw this together just a minute ago.
I allow every moment in time to heal. Yes, I allow it. I allow everything to be time to heal. Yes, I allow it, I allow everyone to be as they are. May I surrender to what I'm truly here for. What's moving through me is so much more. Through me the power of heaven and earth is made to flow when I let go. And I allow every moment a time to heal. Yes, I allow it, I allow everything to be as it is. I allow every moment a time to heal. Yes, I allow it, I allow everyone to be as they are. And may I surrender what I'm truly here for. What's moving through is so much more. To be your creator, created me to be. Let this be all that I truly see. I allow. May I surrender to what I'm truly here for, to be alive, blessing the world, and through me the power of heaven and of earth, the love of God is giving birth. And I allow Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you. How beautiful. Good morning. I'm Michael Hart. I'm your practitioner for the morning. And we like to start off each Sunday morning with gratitude. So I invite you to close your eyes for a minute and think of a painting that you love, a piece of music that stirs you, a sports event in this week of the Olympics that's touched your heart or that inspires you to get out there and do something, a dance, anything artistic, athletic, anything that pleases you. And give thanks for all the people who give us these gifts of their great inspiration in our lives. So that's our thank you for today. And our children in this week of Olympics, and our children are going off to study Free to Be Me and be creative. So similarly, may we wish them the gift of exploring those gifts that they have to give us. And now just a few things, and everything is in your bulletin, so you'll find even more goodies in there than I'm going to mention today. But the first one is that next Sunday we have a very exciting event. Karyl's book is going to be here on oneness and wholeness, and she's going to be signing it for us, 2 fundamental concepts of our philosophy, 100 quotes of her favorites. What a beautiful gift to give. I've already thought of 2 people I'm going to buy it for. So she'll be here next week to sign those for us. And on August 19th, the week after, Reverend Luzette is coming to speak with Reverend Karyl, and Luzette will afterwards offer a workshop called Healing the Inner Critic. And Reverend Luzette had a church here in Marin for many years. Many of us come from that church, so this will be a great moment for you to reunite with your former minister. She's a wonderful speaker, a glorious person, so it'll be really special to bring her back here to her step home. And Reverend Karyl's going to talk to us a little bit about Forgiveness Day.
Well, today is Forgiveness Day, and Bob Plath, who usually sits like right here, is a very busy man, practicing that spiritual skill of being in more places than one at the same time. So I encourage you to attend tonight at 7 o'clock at Angelico Hall, the Heroes of Forgiveness Awards. People who are flat, forgiving, accepting and allowing, things that we marvel at, horrendous experiences in life that have served them as the avenue for greatness. And so these heroes of forgiveness inspire us to forgive the things in our life, because forgiveness ultimately is a gift you give yourself. And so for an inspirational evening, please attend tonight.
Boy, and they really are powerful stories. And Angelico Hall is at Dominican College in Central Santa Fe. If you take that central exit, you can just follow the signs and you'll find it. And also on September 1st, Joel Fatinos, the author, the publisher, the minister, is going to be giving us a fabulous workshop. That's a Saturday. On the book Think and Grow Rich. And as a follow-up for that, our fall classes are beginning in September, and a week or 2 later, Reverend Sarah is going to be offering a class called Success, which uses that book and Ernest Holmes's Creative Mind and Success. Just a short 4-week class, no prerequisites, starting on Mondays on the 9th of September to sort of keep that going, that energy going. So there's a sign-up on the table for that. And finally, Mike Robbins and his wife Michelle are coming to speak to us on September 16th, and they will also be giving a workshop on loving relationships after that on that same Sunday. Again, all of this is in your bulletin and more. And finally, I want to just thank those of you who are here for the first time for joining us. We hope that you will discover that this is your spiritual home. We welcome you as a family member, knowing that your presence is divine, whole, perfect, and complete. Welcome. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce fresh back from the Silomar, our revved up and inspired senior minister, Reverend Karyl.
Thank you. Thank you. So I am fresh back from Silomar, and I think I'll mention that part first. I'm going to be talking about water today as the culmination of the Earth Elements talks, earth, air, fire, and water. And it's so great that water is the last, because, that name Asilomar means refuge by the sea. And if you don't know about Asilomar, it is a huge retreat facility on the Monterey Peninsula, and every year religious scientists from around the world stay there for a week. And every year after Asilomar, I think every one of you should have been there, because it is so fabulous. So I wanted to give you just a little of the flavor of that today. We were well represented. We had 4 ministers there. Reverend M. Louise was there, and Reverend Sarah was there, and Reverend Judith was there, and I was there. And then the Austins were there, the Langeals were there, Sue Ruda, Trish Brady, Ed Dudkowski in the back, and my daughter Melanie. And then I also saw people from the past there. That's another thing, because the people that you love that move away, it's like a wedding. You know, the best part of a wedding is you see all the people you love, right? So Reverend Lanny was there, Rex and Suzanne Raleigh. Reverend Lanny moved up to Grass Valley to take that church, and Rex and Suzanne Raleigh are in Auburn. Gary Walker and Annie Rohrbach moved down to San Jose. Ann Crawford moved to Colorado, and also Melissa Felipe was there, and Karen Drucker was there. So it was really like an old home week. And we also contributed. Sue was there with a workshop based on a teaser for the Ernest Holmes project called The Science of Earnest Mind, which is a multimedia production that Ed has been working on, Jean has been working on, Paula and Lori have been working on, and Sue, of course. And the idea for this is that this multimedia extravaganza, which has animation, video, music, a script that uses people from the audience, is a package that can be sold to other churches that entertain about our founder, Ernest Holmes, and also make money for us. You know, how fabulous is that? And then Melanie and I, Melanie, who turned 20 at Asilomar, is a part of a group of 8 young adults. And the young adults are high school graduation to 25 years old. She's a part of a leadership group, and these young people are supported financially and logistically by Home Office to plant young adult groups in our churches. There was an amazing young man, David Lapidus, who's been here, and he'll be back here, who gave us a talk unlike any other talk you have ever heard, because it was not his purpose really to be inspirational, yet he so much was. He just said, okay, in this whole movement, we have 8 young adult groups, and in my age group, 70% of young people consider themselves spiritual but not religious. And he said, that's a wide open door. What more invitation do we need than to walk through that one? And so this group is going to be planting young adult groups in communities, including ours. So that's very exciting. And then Melanie and I did a workshop that was bringing the generations together. We had a whole bunch of 40s, 50s, 60s, 70 types, and a few of those 20 types. And we listened to each other. And we just put this together, you know, with the mind of God. And it was so successful that they want to use it as part of that planting process of planting young adult communities in the existing communities. So I also was in charge of all the rituals for all week. And so what that consisted of was every day everyone would get a piece of colored yarn. And these are the themes for the day and the colors. Belong, create, experience, adventure, discovery, connection, and transformation. So, and then would the Austins please wave around their name tags? See, the yarn, and this was my name tag with the yarn on it. And so everybody did all these cute things with the yarn. So if you would like to do a practice for yourself, there's scissors and all the colors of yarn in this basket. And on the outgoing letter this week, can we put colors in the letter, Pat? Okay, we'll put colors in the letter and the themes. And my suggestion is that you, if you want to use this, use the theme as your word for the day. And maybe wear an article of clothing this color and just have it in your mind. I mean, if you went around all day long saying, I belong to life itself. I belong to God. I belong to my family. I belong to the earth. I belong to whatever I put energy to. That's a good practice. So, this is available to you should you want to use that. Just take a look at Sandra Aguirrebede's beautiful altar on water. Fabulous. And so now we're going to talk about water. So the 4-week series that had a break because of the day that I was at a seminar, and I so much thank Scott Grace for talking last week. Earth, air, fire, and water are the first division of the natural world that our ancestors noticed. They noticed that in this realm, those elements operate. They also noticed that those elements are a part of us. The earth is the same as the bones in our body. The air that surrounds us moves in and out of our body all the time, and oxygen nourishes every cell. The water in the sea is pretty darn close to the chemical makeup of our blood. And the fire of our spirit is what we bring to every life issue, every project, everything that we put our life force into. That is the fire in our belly that moves to create our lives. And so these elements are nourishing for our soul. And I believe that in coming to earth, in having this earthly experience, we long to have the experiences and the qualities that are represented by those elements of earth. And so, if we want to have stability in a relationship, if we want to have continuity in our work, if we want to have that stick-to-itiveness of our own energy into a project, we will want to work with the element of earth. And so the first week of this, we gave out stones. If you don't have a holy stone that's been prayed on, we've got a pile of them right up here. Then air was the next week that we talked about air. Air is the invisible support. Air is that which moves around the planet to take our energy wherever we want it to go. And so the symbol for air is a little bell. We have a little pile of bells right there. The next week we talked about fire, and fire is instant transformation. You put a lit match to something and it is going to change like right now. And so if you want instant, powerful change in your life, if you want to disappear something or if you want to create something, that creativity of fire is what you want. We have a little pile of matches here. And then today at the door, you were given a vial of water. And so I want you to know that the water, at least in part, came from this holy well. This well is in Glastonbury, England. It is a well dedicated to the goddess, the Earth Mother, and it has been putting forth healing waters for more than 5,000 years. There is a spring underground that nourishes the land and nourishes the people and heals the people. People stand in that water and they are healed. It's naturally very, very, very rich in earth elements like iron and things. It's real, and you can drink it and it tastes delicious. And there is enough for everybody. I mean, there is a runoff from this spring that just goes back into the earth and is recycled into, rain and everything. So the vial that you have is that holy water. So if I were you, I would take a bit of this earth. I would take a bell for the air. I would take a match for fire and put it with your vial of water and find a beautiful little pouch and have this as your traveling altar. I do. I put an altar up every single place I go. I have the altar from Asilomar in a picture on my telephone right now. Because what that does, it reminds me of how the infinite presence shows up on earth to support me. The infinite presence shows up on earth as earth, air, fire, and water to support me in what I do. And so if you would like to start this practice for yourself, you've got the makings. All you do is put a little pouch around it, and then you have it. If you don't want to do that, you can take this holy water and bless yourself. You can bless a plant. You can bless an animal, whatever you want to do. And if you want more of it, I'll give you more. So water. Water is, we are 50 to 65% water. And the flow that we sang about in the river she is flowing, that's what water does. And that's what water in us does. Our blood flows, our digestion flows, our lymph system flows, and that's healthy. When it stops is when it's not so healthy. And so for us, that idea of flowing is really important. And it happens to us naturally. You know, our bodies are so watery that it responds to the moon like the tides do. You know this? That we feel energized and agitated at the full moon because the pull on the water in us is the same as the pull on the tides. So when we look at this element, it's about flowing, touching, relating, adapting, no resistance. It's like the song Allow. When you think about a river flowing, very little stops it unless you really put a dam up. But if you have a group of rocks, it just goes right over or around. If there's a log that falls across the river, it goes right over or around or under. And as it does so, it touches everything. It touches the bottom of the riverbed, it touches the rocks, it touches the logs, it touches the feet that go into the river. And so we think of it as that element that is flowing, relating, allowing, non-resisting. Does any of this sound good to you? Great. Because in us, it is about non-resistance and relating. A lot of angst in our life comes from either trying to do things all by ourselves or thinking of ourselves as a loner or depending only on ourselves, being, that John Wayne type of, I can do it. And it also has to do with controlling. Now, I know that we don't have control issues, but maybe you know someone that does. And you can offer them that little vial of water. But so if I ask you, are you ever busier than you want to be? And the answer could be, well, yes, sometimes. Or if I say, do you have to have things your way, always or some of the time, then water might be good for you. Or if you say about yourself, I don't react well to surprises, or I would absolutely be lost without my calendar, then water is your element, or at least for part of your life issues. So in the Science of Mind teaching, we know that our actions and our experience of life is dictated by our beliefs. And so many beliefs are subconscious, and that's part of my job, is to just offer to you, do you happen to believe this? So if you happen to believe that you'd be lost without your calendar, or if you happen to believe that, things have to be my way or the highway, if you might be operating with a couple of beliefs that are limiting your joy of life. Just maybe. And so if you're too busy if you're often tired, if your calendar is too full, if you have no empty spaces in your schedule, perhaps a belief along the lines of more and more energy spent is necessary is working with you. More and more energy spent is necessary. And if something goes wrong, if something doesn't go exactly the way you think it should according to your pictures, you put more energy into it. How many of us do that? If something doesn't go quite right, well, I got to try harder. Okay, so I got some of you. Boy, do I have some of you. So if we have that idea that we have to push harder if something doesn't go right, what we're missing is a belief in the natural rhythm of life. That there is a rhythm on this earth plane, and if we harmonize with it, it's just like if we harmonize with spiritual principle, things work better. If we harmonize with the physicalness of the world, like if we cooperate with gravity instead of trying to fly off a building, things will go better for us. So the natural world is all about cycles. The natural world has night and day, winter and summer, tide in, tide out. And listen to this. This is from Wayne Muller in his wonderful book, Sabbath. All life requires a rhythm. There is a rhythm as the active growth of spring and summer is quieted by the necessary dormancy of fall and winter. There is a tidal rhythm, a deep eternal conversation between the land and the great sea. In our bodies, the heart perceptibly rests after each life-giving beat. The lungs rest between the exhale and the inhale. We have lost this essential rhythm. Our culture invariably supposes that action and accomplishment are better than rest, that doing something, anything, is better than doing nothing. Okay, so water is the epitome of flowing in cycles. In fact, the life of water on this planet is that flow of evaporation and precipitation. And so we have this suggested cycle of activity that it's older than the Old Testament, but it appears in the Old Testament. And it is one of the commandments that you work 6 days and then you rest the seventh. You give that essentially that seventh day to your spiritual practice, which should include rest, actually. So when we think of the Ten Commandments, and if pressed, I don't think I could recite all 10 of them in front of you right now, but I know one of them has to do with killing, and one of them has to do with stealing. And when you think rest is placed in the same importance as not killing, not lying, and not stealing. So I want us to imagine, what if that is really true? That is as important an element of your spiritual practice as behaving in these socially acceptable other ways of being, kind and nonviolent. That rest could be that important. That when we look at other systems, if they don't rest, they break down. And so the healing belief here could be, I flow with natural divine rhythm. Let's all say that and see how it feels. I flow with natural divine rhythm. Now, if this is sitting in you like, I cannot believe I just said this, I encourage you to see a practitioner, because what I've said is true. I mean, there is something within you also that is saying, thank God you're hearing the truth. And if you want to install the truth, that's where a practitioner can help you in changing your beliefs. You actually can change your belief from thinking more is better, more force is necessary, to I flow with the natural divine rhythm. And we can help you with that. And you're going to be happier if you do that. So let's talk about control now. Okay, just breathe. If you're operating with the belief that I have to do it all, or if it's done right, I have to do it, then you are pretending that you are in control and that control is necessary for your well-being. If you are a control person, and we all are to some extent, that control comes up against resistance. Because in controlling, you're holding and you're not flowing. And when all of this world wants to flow in some way, at some time, and you're holding on all the time, you are resisting and going against the flow. And doing things ourselves all the time means that we are avoiding relating, which is another wonderful aspect of water. That when water would look at a situation and say, what wants to happen and who wants to do it? Instead of, it's got to fit my picture and it's got to be done this way. Do you see the difference there? And so if we adopted this philosophy of, wow, what wants to happen and who wants to do it? Like for me, coming back from Asilomar, I've got lots of ideas, but one of the things that I think wants to happen is a young adult program here. You know, I think, yeah. Well, so you guys that think so too, guess what? You're doing it with me. So, and we begin by just holding a space for that and seeing who shows up. Now, if we do that, if we say every day as we wake up, I wonder what wants to happen and who wants to do it with me, that can get really messy. Can you imagine that? Yes. So, Margaret Wheatley says, life uses messes to get to well-ordered solutions. I love this line. Life uses messes to get to well-ordered solutions. Life doesn't seem to share our desires for efficiency or neatness. It uses redundancy, fuzziness, dense webs of relationship, unending trials and errors to find what works. And so if you are in a space of saying, well, that didn't work, well, that didn't work, well, that didn't work, you are in a lovely divine mess of life. And you, I mean, how many times has it been in your life that you've had that experience of, oh my gosh, this is chaos, when is it going to end? And then it sort of dumps out into a new order. That's what happens. Yes? Some of you have glassed over, but not everybody, so this is good. So, the healing belief is, life supports the manifestation of my vision. I only need to do my part. So let's say that in parts. Life supports the manifestation of my vision.
Life supports the manifestation of my vision.
I only need to do my part.
I only need to do my part.
Well, now that should be such a relief that everybody just lowers their shoulders. Yeah, exactly right. So what that says is that our job is really to hold the vision. Another thing about control and keeping too busy, and I know this for myself, it's like, what fire do I put out first, and what needs my attention now? And if I lose sight of the vision that I hold for my life or my relationships or my community, that's when things get really messed up. Because in the creative process, we get to say what we create. And the creative law gets to show us how it's created. And so holding the vision, holding the vision, holding the vision. So right now, in creating a young adults program, my daughter Melanie is emailing all of like the 4 young adults that used to be a part of this community as children that she knows. And she is going to invite them to the launching pad some Friday evening to go with her. And so that's what's happening now. And I am holding the vision that we have a young adult program. And I'm just going to keep holding that vision and see what shows up. So, and in another part in the Old Testament, water, well, let's just pause a moment and know that God is right where that siren is going. So, yeah, God's right there. Oh, right there. Okay. Right where the siren's going, God is. In the Old Testament, water is likened to the soul. The staging area of the Old Testament, as you know, is desert. And so life abounds where there is flowing water. And life in us abounds when our soul is refreshed by the activity of God. So we created this great little teaching symbol flyer for any of you that want a really, really basic understanding of our philosophy. So this part up here, this top part in the circle, is spirit. And when everything is working well, spirit inspires our thought. And all we have to do is think it with an acceptance that, yes, this is a divine thought that I am saying yes to. And then this middle part in here is called the creative law, but Ernest Holmes calls it the soul. And this is the part that is always moving and flowing and creating. Then the bottom part is that which is created. But in the foundations class, one of the analogies that we use to teach that what is created corresponds exactly to the thoughts that are thought, we say it is likened to mist, water, ice. The same substance moves into form. And so, from many traditions, the soul is likened to water. And so, from the Old Testament, this beautiful, beautiful saying from Isaiah, "The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail." So, I'd like to close with a story from Hugh Prather. This is an old book. You can tell how it's been, well, water spotted. How fun. It's called Parables from Other Planets, and it's like Star Trek meets Ernest Holmes. And so the story goes like this. The Milky Way amusement park, which occupies 3 planets and a moon, has constructed its main water ride around the theme of this hymn. Enlightenment Way, as it is called, is a 1,000-mile-long ride that could take as many years to complete. Yet, if traversed correctly, it can be completed easily within a day. At the start of their journey, travelers are given only a copy of the hymn and a seatbelt. At first, they may not realize that the river moves deceptively fast, but this becomes increasingly evident the longer they are in the boats. Scattered along the river's path are alluring ports of pleasure whose sights and sound promise countless means of easing one's way, mock wars on the shores over an endless list of issues on which one is enjoined to take sides, public service announcements on how turning around and rowing up the river would have cardiopulmonary benefits, signs that warn of indescribable disasters if one does not leave the river and portage over land. Rapids, whirlpools, waterfalls, and bogs suddenly appear and disappear along the way. One is often sucked under or hurtled forward only to discover, if the disaster did not succeed in driving the traveler off the river, that the boat's progress has been unaffected and the journey's end is all the more assured. You must not take the activity too seriously, remembering always that the actual work is being carried on by the current of your destiny that conveys you on its back. Rewarded with 4 parts happiness to every 3 parts of non-interfering effort, the hymn is, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. 3 rows to 4 merrilies. So let's go into the inner work with singing the hymn. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. 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 And moving into the vision for a world where the flow of life is the force of that current of destiny that takes us to the manifestation of our vision. I see a world in which we all flow like water through all circumstances and conditions, that we respect and love that current beneath us that takes us to the manifestation of our heart's desire. I see a world in which we all live with that knowingness that resistance is futile, and that we all know, we all relate, we all touch one another, never avoiding, but always going closer, always wanting to touch the rock, to touch the person, to touch the log, just like the river. And as we do, we flow together in this beautiful concert of combining and recombining and manifesting and flowing and visioning and dreaming, rowing a little, but being merrily, 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 merrily on our precious divine way. And so it is.
I've never been so moved by row, row, row your boat. It's like it's bringing up all this stuff, and I'm just letting it be. I'm allowing it, yeah. My favorite thing is to get people to sing along and sing to each other And at one point in this song, I hope you find yourself singing along, and you'll know the part. This song is called You Are the Light of the World, or I Am the Light of the World. It goes back and forth. So maybe we can even catch people singing to each other on the camera when it happens, when it is, hopefully.
Ocean, not just the wave that comes and goes. I have the power to choose only love. I am the light, I am the light, I am the light of the world. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light of the world. Shining. Can you imagine tracing this ray of light back to the source to find something brighter than 10,000 suns? I am the light, I am the light, I am the light of the world. You are the light, you are the light. Very good. You are the light of the world, shining. Our minds are touching through all dimensions. Wisdom is shared from the depths of my soul. May I extend love. I am the light, I am the light. Sing along. I am the light of the world. You are the light, you are the light, you are the light, you are the light of the world, shining for all. Holy child of pure spirit, you do not abide in time at all. May the way be easy. I myself do nothing. I just choose to be the truth of who I am. I just choose to be the truth of what I am. I am the light. I am the light. I am the light. I am the light of the world. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light of the world. Tell your neighbor, you are the light. You are the light. You are the light of the world. Tell another neighbor the truth. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light of the world. You are the love. You are the love. You are the love. You are the love of the world. You are the peace. You are the peace. You are the peace. You are the peace of the world. You are the joy. You are the joy. You are the joy. You are the joy of the world. I am the light. I am the light. I am the light. I am the light of the world. Close your eyes and take it in. I am the light. I am the light. I am the light of the world. I am the light. I am the light. I am the light of the world. I am the light. I am the light. I am the light of the world. Shining, shining, shining for all. Shining for all. Shining, shining for all. Shining for all. That's the truth. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Well, all you light beings can take Kalyani home with you. She has CDs available. And right now I'd like the ushers to get ready to collect the tithes and offerings. And this is part of the flow, you know. This is part of the flowing from you. And then as we know, more will flow to you. So if you could just give with that experience that as you give, so you receive. So if you would just hold your gift for a moment next to your heart. And this is the seed that is planted. This is the boat that is launched. This is the prayer that is breathed on the airs. This is the fire in our hearts that is love for this community. And as we give, that flow comes right back to us. And so it is. Now, the song, before you start with the baskets, I just want to say that our chant for the offering is one that we do at Woman's Spirit every year. It's very simple, and it will conclude this wonderful 4-week series. The words are, earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. Okay. And imagine drums in the woods. So we bless this offering, we bless the giving, we bless the flow to this community. And so each heart now, just imagine all of this supply flowing to you, for that is what it is doing. And then we take some of our supply and we let it flow away from us, and then more flows to us. And so in this divine flow, this entire community is grateful. And so it is. Blessed be. So we're coming to a close on this wonderful, wonderful Sunday. I'd like the practitioners to come forward if you would. Bob Plath is in the building. Bob, would you stand, please? Now, if you want to be inspired about forgiveness and have any directions about tonight, see Bob. And then for those of you who are new to our community, we have a whole table for you over here. Welcome newcomers. And the bookstore is around back, and then refreshments are around behind the fireplace here. And I would love to meet you. So please see me after. And now I would like to ask Michael Hart to pray us out.
These practitioners before me are those who give of their time freely. So if there's anything incomplete in you to rejoice or to go into more deeply, please see one of them at the table in the back after the service. And join with me now in affirmative prayer, going within. As I know, I remember, I recall to myself the bigness, the vastness, the unimaginable greatness of life itself. So that despite the possibility of nuclear disaster, the inevitability of climate change, our burgeoning population getting the silver instead of the gold, or not qualifying at all, life goes on. Life gives of itself. Life never ends. on this planet or some other, in some other universe of universes, always, whatever there is, seeds itself anew, becomes again, expands, opening and unfolding into ever new patterns of perfection, for this is its nature, it is the pattern of perfection. And so as I know this, as I know that life itself is all there is, and is indeed never ending, I know that this is what I call God, this life, this ongoing principle of perfection. And as it is all there is, I am a part of it. I am made of it, by it, for its own knowing of itself. And therefore, available to me is that knowing that creates in my own life what I know. And as I know this for myself, so I know it for each one in this room and within the sound of my voice, for I know that each one is made of and by and for that one life. And in this, each one is connected to the knowing that brings dreams into reality, that brings good always, no matter how things may appear, into its ever unfolding pattern. And so I speak my word for this knowing here and now. I call forth from within each one that opening up, that allowing in of the knowing of the one life living itself as them. That knowing that the power and the grace of God are here right now. The power and the grace of God are in every situation here now. The power and the grace of God are unfolding regardless of how anything appears. The power and the grace of God are here now, flowing, finding, touching, revealing, becoming. And I celebrate this opening to a greater knowing of God, this deeper allowing of the good to flow. As I release this, my word, to that law of mind that always and forever flows, that simply finds the opening and becomes the new good. And so it does now, and so it is. Amen.
Would you all please stand for our affirmation and closing song? And as we have no PowerPoint, just repeat after me. As the divine flow of life carries me, I am like the water herself. I touch everything. Resisting nothing. I gracefully relate to all. With life-giving energy. Merrily, 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 merrily. I go on my sacred way.